Hello everybody and welcome to the Showcase, where we take a look at articles on Wookieepedia, the Star Wars wiki. Today on the Showcase we take a look at Brissa, so let's get started. Quote, "It's intact. Brissa inspecting the silver arrow." Brissa was an Ekrekian who was a member of the Rebel Alliance as part of the crew led by Captain Magna Tolvan. The crew was called by General Leia Organa to an undisclosed rebel base after taking down an Imperial outpost. They were tasked with searching for the missing rebellion ship, the Silver Arrow, which the entity known as the Scourge took over. When the team eventually found the lost vessel, it was still intact and showed no sign of damage. However, once Brissa and the rest entered the ship, they discovered the corpses of all the crew members. They questioned the whereabouts of the ship's droids, though it did not take long for the crew to get their answer. The missing droids, taken over by the Scourge, acted in unison and fought to capture the crew. They put up a fight against the droids, though the crew was overwhelmed by the sheer quantity of them. Having no use for pure organics, the Scourge disposed of Brissa, the Deveronian Sheo, and the Kamasi Pilok, while Tolvan and Kelb were taken for further experimentation due to their cybernetics. Biography. Quote, "She mentioned that it was an urgent matter. Magna Tolvan, on Leia Organa's request for the crew's arrival. Between 3 ABY and 4 ABY, the Ekrekian Brissa was part of a crew led by the human cyborg Captain Magna Tolvan under the Rebel Alliance. The crew took down an Imperial outpost before getting called to an undisclosed rebel base by General Leia Organa for an urgent matter. The crew later landed their ship, the Hawk's End, and met up with the general as planned. In the briefing room, Organa informed Brissa and the rest that one of the rebellion's most reliable supply run ships, the Silver Arrow, went missing a week prior. The only clue they had was a recording of a distress call from the ship before the comms cut out. Unable to perform a full search effort, Organa tasked the crew to search for the missing vessel alone, considering the crew's past performances to be miracles. Unbeknownst to the crew, the missing vessel was taken over by the technological entity known as the Scourge. As the crew traveled through the Outer Rim territories aboard the Hawk's End, they listened to the recorded distress call from the Silver Arrow. Other members of the crew, including the Kamasi Pilok and the Deveronian Sheo, offered ideas about what could happen aboard the missing vessel. Given that the only lead they had were week-old coordinates from the ship's log, doubts about fulfilling their search started to show among the crew. Despite their pessimistic remarks, the crew pulled through with encouragement from Tolvan before they set up new coordinates and jumped to hyperspace. After jumping out of hyperspace, still deep in the Outer Rim, they found the Silver Arrow. Brissa and the human cyborg navigator Kelb inspected the ship and confirmed that it appeared to be intact and undamaged. Tolvan attempted to make contact with the ship but was unable to receive any response from it. Unsure of what lay ahead, she reminded everyone to keep their wits. The crew then boarded the Silver Arrow and inspected the hull, where they witnessed many lifeless bodies lying around, to their horror. Tolvan warned the rest to be ready in case the murderer was still somewhere aboard the ship, with Kelb deducing that the people were already dead for a few days and noted that one of the bodies was stabbed with precision. As they inspected the bodies, Kelb noticed everyone except the droids were there. They soon found themselves surrounded as the missing droids ambushed the crew. The droids, controlled by the Scourge, talked and acted as if they were under a single hive mind, which Brissa told the rest to ignore. Tolvan instructed the crew to head back to the ship, though they were overwhelmed by the droids before they could do anything. As the rebels struggled to break free of the droids' grasp, Tolvan told Brissa to run, though the Ekrekian could not move and was in tears. Having cybernetic implants, Tolvan and Kelb were then taken away for further experimentation by the droids, while Brissa, Sheo, and Pilok were killed and disposed of due to them being pure organics. Personality and traits. Quote, Don't listen to them. Brissa. Brissa was an Ekrekian with white skin, orange eyes, and black hair. Similar to other members of their species, Brissa had 2 protruding bulges on their skull. Even though the Ekrekian did not talk much, they were cheerful and excited when returning to the rebel base after a successful mission. Their smile would later turn as Brissa was apprehended by the infective droids aboard the Silver Arrow, crying helplessly. Skills and abilities. Quote, "We're stretched too thin for a full search effort, but your team performs miracles." Leia Organa on the crew's performance. Brissa was part of Magna Tolvan's crew, who Organa considered to be miracle workers, and were able to take down an Imperial outpost. The Ekrekian was also able to use a blaster and spoke Galactic Basic Standard to their colleagues. Equipment. Quote, "Brissa wore a green shirt with a brown sleeveless vest over. During their mission to the Silver Arrow, Brissa wielded a single blaster and had an active tracker embedded in their clothes, sending out a signal to the rest of the rebellion. However, the tracker became inactive shortly after their demise. Brissa first appeared, albeit unidentified, in the 36th issue of the comic book series Star Wars Dr. Aphra 2020, which was written by Alyssa Wong, illustrated by Jethro Morales, and published by Marvel Comics on September 27, 2023. They were then identified by name in the series' 37th issue, also written by Wong and published on October 25, 2023, also by Marvel. On Twitter, Wong confirmed Brissa to be the Ikrukian in the issues. Additionally, Wong also confirmed that Brissa died after their encounter with the Scourge, which the comic issue did not show. Thanks everyone for watching, and we hope you've enjoyed this video. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and until next time, this is Wookieepedia signing off, and may the Force be with you.